Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the connection between the language you speak and, well, the very structure of your mind. It turns out your words don't just describe your world, they actually help build it.
So you might think the big difference between our brain and a chimp's is just size, right? Or maybe that we have more neurons. But that's not really the whole story. The real, fundamental difference lies in how our brains are wired. Okay, let's get into this. Sure, plenty of animals communicate. You've got bees that dance and birds that sing. But the human brain, it has something totally unique. It's like it comes with this innate capacity, this pre-installed wiring, specifically for the incredible complexity of language.
For more than 100 years, scientists had a pretty simple story about language in the brain. They figured it all out by studying patients with very specific brain injuries, and they came to believe our whole linguistic world was run by just two key areas. And this really shows that early thinking perfectly. If you had damage to Broca's area, you could understand just fine, but the words would get stuck on the way out. But if Wernicke's area was damaged, you could talk a blue streak, but the words would be all jumbled up, totally meaningless. It was seen as this simple circuit, one part for making speech and another part for making sense of it.
But here's where the story gets really interesting. That old view, it's been completely turned on its head. Modern imaging shows us that language is not a two-person show. It is a full-on team sport. It recruits regions from all over the brain, all working together in perfect harmony.
Just think about what your brain is doing this very second just to read this sentence. First, your visual system is processing the shapes of the letters. Then, other parts of your brain are turning those symbols into the sounds of words inside your head. And then, a whole host of areas team up to give those words meaning. It's an incredible symphony, really. So, how does this complex system get programmed in the first place?
Get this, every single one of us is born with the potential to learn any language on Earth. We are universal communicators right from birth. But this amazing ability, well, it operates on a timer. It's all happening within a critical and surprisingly brief window of time.
At birth, a baby's brain is just a sponge for sound. It can hear all the subtle phonetic differences between, say, a French R and a Spanish RR. But by just 10 months old, it's already starting to specialize. It begins pruning away the ability to hear sounds it doesn't need. Also, it can become an expert in the sounds it hears every single day.
This quote just puts it perfectly, doesn't it? It's this incredible trade-off our brain makes. To master our own language with absolute fluency, we have to sacrifice our global potential. We become specialists at the cost of being universalists.
Okay, so here's the crucial point. If your brain is the hardware, then the specific language you grew up with is the operating system. And different operating systems don't just change the words you use, they fundamentally shape how you perceive and categorize the entire world around you.
Let's take a simple concept like family. In English, the word uncle is kind of a catch-all term, right? But in many Indian languages, there are very specific, distinct words for your mother's brother versus your father's younger brother versus your father's sister's husband. The language itself actually encodes a much more detailed map of the family structure. For most of us English speakers, our vocabulary for frozen water is pretty basic. We've got snow, we've got ice, maybe sleet or slush if we're feeling fancy. But then you look at Inuit languages, and wow, they have over 50 words for different types of snow and ice. And why? Because being able to tell the difference between wet snow, powdery snow, or snow that's good for building an igloo isn't just a poetic detail. It's absolutely critical for survival. Their reality demands a more precise linguistic toolkit. And this effect doesn't just stop with family or the weather. It actually extends to mathematics. See, in Chinese, the numbering system is incredibly logical. 11 is literally 10-1, 12 is 10-2, and so on. This simple, transparent structure gives kids a head start, letting them grasp concepts like place value and basic arithmetic way faster than their peers who are wrestling with weird English words like 11 and 12.
So, if a single language has such a powerful impact on your mind, what happens when your brain is running 2, 3, or even more of these linguistic operating systems at once? Well, the benefits are just astounding.
It all comes down to this idea of brain plasticity. Honestly, learning a new language is one of the most intense and effective workouts you can possibly give your brain. It forces it to forge new pathways and stay flexible, constantly adapting to new rules, new sounds, and new structures. Think about it.
People who speak multiple languages are constantly switching between different systems. This strengthens the brain's executive control center. That's the part responsible for focus and ignoring distractions. All that mental juggling builds what scientists call cognitive reserve, which is like a kind of green resilience, and it's been shown to actually delay the onset of diseases like dementia by several years.
So the language you speak, it's not just a set of labels for the world. It is the architect of your thought. It's the filter for your reality. It is literally the software your brain runs on. And if learning a new language lets you install a whole new operating system, the only question left is, what new world will you choose to build?